Hey, do you know what's fun? Not fireworks on July 4th, but July 11th at 10 o'clock that lasts for 20 minutes when you're having a little bit of a disagreement with your spouse and you both keep getting interrupted because suddenly fireworks start. Am I right?
I'm trying to make a valid point in my defense in the argument. Bam, 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 bam. And then you retort, ba-boom, ba-boom. On July 11th, of all things. I think they hired the Disney Imagineers to come to backwoods West Virginia to put on the show, because I looked outside a couple times and it was actually quite impressive.
Really? I just wonder, was it because it was like, a rotisserie chicken boiling in an oven, stupid hot on July 4th, that maybe they saved it for the 11th?
It could be. Hey, we got to actually intro this thing.
Okay.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to We Watch TV. It is the podcast about the TV that we watch. I am Daniel. She is Hope. This is episode 138. Checking my notes here real quick. Yep, okay.
I think it is. Did I do that right?
Look at us. A second podcast in July.
Yes, 138. I was right.
Okay. A second podcast in July.
What can I say except you're welcome? I haven't seen a live action Moana yet.
Wait, was there a first episode in July, or was that in June?
That was June.
I just completely messed
because
up.
we had the whole conversation about calendars.
I just messed it up.
The way calendars work.
All right, well, we're getting one episode in July out of the way. Maybe we'll have a second one.
Yeah, I can't believe that, because we had the whole topic of, like, there was only 30 days in June, and then somehow we started talking about, like, leap year, I think.
It was on June 30th that our last episode came out, so forgive me.
Was like,
forgive me, everyone.
But, if it was more like 31 days, you should have been more settled into June. I don't know. There are 31 days this month, right, for July?
Yeah.
That's what we're going to do every time. If we start on a monthly podcast, I'm going to be like, how many days are in this month?
Anyways, so yeah, it's July.
It's hot.
It's hot.
So hot.
Fireworks are still ongoing.
Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce got married.
Congratulations to the happy couple.
Taylor and I, my good friend Taylor Allison Swift and I, are so much alike that we both married boys from Ohio that grew up being Browns fans. Because the Kelce brothers, they like the Browns. We're so
It seems like you both got a broken picker.
I like to joke with people because we had the week after the 4th off. I'm like, yeah, I took off for Taylor Swift's wedding. What is it, like that Friday? Because I got married on like July 3rd. And I was the type that was thinking the whole like Madison Square Garden thing. I'm like, okay, I bet they already got married and this is like a reception or a party. But then as soon as her childhood friend Abigail showed up, I was like, oh, it's getting serious. So then like that night, so it would have already technically been the 4th of July. It's like 2 a.m. and Daniel walks into the living room where I'm still up. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm looking at pictures of people leaving the wedding. And he's like, what wedding again? I'm like, Taylor Swift's wedding. Listen, it was serious. I started my vacation in a sleep deficit.
And you kept it up.
I guess so.
You averaged going to bed at like 1:40 in the morning the whole week. I can't help
it, but I got to sleep in more. I don't know. I'm just very bad at sleeping. I love sleeping, but I'm like a good napper. And don't be like, you know what makes me mad about that? Someone's like, oh, maybe you wouldn't like naps as much if you got adequate rest at night. I can never sleep at night.
You know what I've noticed, one thing about you? You're always arguing with someone. You're always on here like, and then someone will say, and then someone says this. And you do this to me sometimes in arguments too. It's like,
you want to argue right now?
Somebody's always like, I think that's the person in the critic in your head talking sometimes.
Do you want to argue right now?
Not really.
I don't know. You know what? I wouldn't put it past our neighbors
It's not dark enough.
So people do them in the daylight. I never understood that. Why people do like fireworks
daylight
and stuff
fireworks?
in the day.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, I wouldn't put it past them. There's always the gunshots. Those are fun.
Those are all time, yeah. That's not a July only thing.
Did we do anything fun on the 4th? No.
I made hot dog sauce.
That's true. We did have hot dogs. I am good with hot dogs for like a year.
Yeah. No, I'm not, but
I mean, you say yeah, but like yesterday you were like, ooh, I could go for a hot dog. I'm like, you're like, that is such a lie.
what the hot dog with sauce and the cheese that I make for the 4th of July, because that sauce is very good, but also quite rich and like
Yeah.
very. It's a West Virginia hot dog sauce, everybody. So if you're not from West Virginia and you're like, what is a hot dog sauce? It's
Some people would call it like chili, but there's no beans in it.
It's more like, it's kind of like
I don't like beans in my chili.
So
it's not like a soup.
It's a meat sauce.
It's like a spread.
But it's like a bolognese to a certain extent. And now Marvin's barking at somebody. I don't know what's going on.
Maybe they're starting fireworks.
It's like a bolognese sauce. It's like a meat.
What
a
is a
meaty
bolognese
tomato
sauce?
sauce,
That's
kind of like a spaghetti sauce, but not quite there.
It's not a spaghetti
It's not
sauce.
sweet enough that sweet, but the meat is really fine, and it's kind of that. But there's no beans. It's not chili.
Yeah.
It's a meat
Some
sauce,
people would
but it's
call
sauce.
But
It's
like,
hot dog sauce.
A lot of what people probably think of when they say like I want a hot dog with like chili on it, that's probably what we just call it sauce in West Virginia.
Yeah.
Although it's different. It's not like Skyline chili, which
No,
is Cincinnati thing.
With their cinnamon and stuff in it.
Cinnamon?
Skyline puts cinnamon in their chili. That's one of
They
the.
do not.
Yes, they do. That's one of the ingredients in Skyline chili.
They put it on like spaghetti.
They put their
Like a bolognese sauce.
they put their sauce on spaghetti, but there is cinnamon in the sauce. It's one of the spices in the sauce for Skyline.
Didn't we had their cheese fries once? I thought they were decent. I did not like when I did my half marathon in Cincinnati, and I just wanted to say I want the 3-way because I saw the maturity of like a 12-year-old. I thought that was gross. That was like spaghetti.
It's spaghetti with the sauce on top and then cheese.
See, now you might be confusing people because you described it like the bolognese sauce for the hot dog.
Well, okay. So if you've had Skyline chili,
which is very Cincinnati core.
the sauce, the chili,
Yeah.
not flavor but consistency is what I'm talking about
getting
with
very
West
loud and
Virginia hot
animated.
dog sauce.
Yes.
The flavor profile of West Virginia hot dog sauce versus Skyline chili is different. But if you want to imagine what it looks like, it's a little bit redder because Skyline's a little brown. West Virginia hot dog sauce is a little redder, but it's that consistency of like a meat sauce that you would have no. In fact, I think that the hot dog sauce we had probably would be pretty good on a plate of spaghetti or noodles in general.
You could try it.
It's
sometime.
not. It's a little thicker than you would probably want, but that could be overcome.
If that's
I'm
the only
hungry
kind
now.
of and you're like I'm good with hot dog for a year, and you're like I could use another. That's like the only my mom's recipe for sauce is what I like. If I'm not doing that, then I just do like ketchup or mustard. Yeah, that's right, people. Here, see, I am always arguing. Everyone gets all up in arms about people that put ketchup on their hot dogs.
You're arguing with people who haven't said anything yet.
Oh, it's like a whole thing. Like everyone's very hateful if you put ketchup on a hot dog. Like they should just be like mustard.
I won't put
like
ketchup.
Like
I will not put ketchup on a hot dog, but it's not because it's some rule. I was scarred as a child.
Okay, we don't have to get into that. Do you know that my mom's recipe, which I guess my nephews and stuff go to the high school that I graduated from, they still use that for like the boosters. Like my mom would always make it for like when we would do like our boosters to sell concessions for like track meets, and they still do that like to this day. It lives on. The legend of the sauce. I know my brother-in-law, they were working one of the concession stands for the band, and some man was like, who made this sauce? And he's like, my mother-in-law made it. And he's like, is she single? No, she's not.
I think I did a pretty good job replicating it.
Anyway,
because
now
I have
we're talking
to
about hot dog
yeah,
sauce
because I have to admit her recipe is less than clairvoyant in the
it's like add to
amount.
taste.
So
a dash, a sprinkle.
it's like at one point it goes, if it's too red, add more Worcestershire or ketchup. Or not ketchup, or mustard, and I'm like, wait, those are two different colors. What do you mean?
There's mustard in that? See, I've never even attempted to
mustard
make
is a optional. In the recipe, mustard is an optional ingredient if you need to change the color of the sauce.
I'm like Rachel from Friends when it comes to cooking. It says, what is she like? It says, boil 2 cups of salt. You boil 2 cups of salt.
So I think I did a pretty good job. So
You did. We watched Independence Day, our annual viewing. The second movie does not count. That's about, like, you know what? Independence Day came out in 1996. Still holds up. It looks really good.
Yeah.
In our year, oh my God, I just did the math of how long ago 1996 was. That movie is, like, old. And I think that it looks, and it's because they used what you said, like, the models when they, like, blow up the White House.
There is CGI in the movie, but it's not nearly as heavy as you would start seeing.
It looks better than some action movies I've seen today.
Yeah. Like CGI usage got a lot heavier as we went into the 90s.
Are there any 4th of July, like, movies?
Like,
what about, I mean, National Treasure, we can go steal the Declaration of Independence.
I can't even, I could see that. I don't even remember if National Treasure actually takes place around the July time frame. I don't know. I think it's, mostly if you're looking for 4th of July movies, you're going to be looking like at patriotic, like, war movies.
It's like President Whitmore. Anyway, what else did we do? Oh, well, we had the week off. We did not go to Disney. Everyone hold their collective breaths. We actually did our first staycation since we've had vacation times off around the holidays. I don't count that because you're so busy with, like, Christmas stuff. Yeah. So we have not done, like, a staycation in the summer since 2013. And I remember this because that was the first year the Pirates were good in 20 years. And we had our little, like, redneck style pool set up in the backyard, and I remember listening to the game, and they won, and then we were going to the game the next day as part of one of our state, and that's how, and I have a very core memory of that because I remember as a Pirates fan, I was like, oh, they lost or they won. They're probably going to lose at the game that we go to now, which they ended up winning. But do you remember that at all?
I remember.
And we got a car that week, which I think we still have the Fusion, the red car.
Yep.
So that's how long it's been. Like, so over 10 years since we've had our staycation. And speaking of July, Christmas in July, Daniel's clearly had Christmas on the brain more than me. I have never been more disappointed in myself and more prouder of you. Like, in my life, maybe.
I was a little frustrated with you, to be honest.
I was not clocking it. You go ahead and catch everyone up to speed.
Well, okay, so part of our staycation basically has been me vigorously avoiding going to Walmart.
Yeah.
Like anything I can do to not have to go do that and go do a full grocery shopping. So what I've ended up doing,
Walmart in this heat.
What I've ended up doing is going to the closer but far less feature rich Piggly Wiggly.
That's what it's called. Not making that up.
Of which, what do I call it?
Foodland.
Foodland, because that was what it was before it became
Piggly
Wiggly, and I'm not changing. So I've been going there with, like, Band-Aid trips just to get a couple things to get us through, blah, blah, blah. No, it's not the great idea, but I don't want to go to Walmart, and I know the vacation
All the vegetables are giving everybody the poops.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where I'm getting them. So anyways, you request a meal and you say, get some nice bread and we'll toast up some bread and put some butter on it the way I do, blah, 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 because I'm a great chef.
You're a good cook.
So I go into Piggly Wiggly. I'm going to try and say that to keep for clarity's sake. And nothing. And I know the bread that you wanted, I've purchased it there before.
Yeah.
They don't have it. So I walk around the corner and I'm like, it's nothing but, like, just bad sandwich bread, which is not what we want for the purpose that we're using.
And you guys, Piggly Wiggly, at least in our town, other people's Piggly Wigglies might look different. It looks like the grocery store from the original Home Alone. It still looks like that. So, like, think like early 90s, maybe even some late 80s vibes.
You have watched the TV show Fallout? And the first village they reach in season 1 is what it looks like. So anyways, I'm in the bread section and I see the King's Hawaiian kiosk. And I go, oh, King's Hawaiian. And so then I text you and go, hey, they don't have the regular bread. How is King's Hawaiian? And you're like, that's good. And I go, oh, King's Hawaiian.
You said, King's Hawaiian. And I'm like, okay. I just thought you were excited because you had forgotten that King's Hawaiian.
And so then I bring it home. And I make
them
that comment
again
at least 2 more times
It wasn't until like the next
because
day.
I cut them in, because I don't follow the instructions on the package. I cut the rolls in half. I put them on a sheet tray. I put them in the oven for a couple minutes and get them nice and toasty and crispy.
They're so good.
And then I take some butter and I put some salt, pepper, garlic powder, Italian seasoning, mix that all up.
No low carb on that.
Smush it on the rolls so it gets nice and melty, and that's what we do, and it's great and it's awesome. But I'm frustrated because I keep making this joke and she's not getting it. And what's the joke, Hope?
Well, you made it again. Like, it wasn't until, like, the next day we had them, because they're very small, so if you are low carb, but you just want a little bite, you could just have, like, a half of one, you know. They're so
King's
good.
Hawaiian.
And it was, yeah, literally, you keep snorting. It was, like, the next 2 days later, I think we had them again, and he's like, oh, King's Hawaiian. And I'm like, why do you keep saying that? And he's like, okay. He's like, why are you like not remembering this? And then by
the way, I don't know what episode it is because I didn't look it up.
You probably referenced
but
it. But
this is on an episode from the December time frame.
Christmas time. Anyway, suddenly I'm like, wait a minute. Are you referencing it's the 3 wise men and a baby, but the third installment of the Hallmark
one that we watched in 2025
Christmas trilogy
yep.
that had obvious product placement, and during the dinner table scene, like they clearly show that they're the King's Hawaiian rolls, and the guy
and one
goes,
of the characters, like one of the main
Hawaiian.
characters, one of the main actors who is tasked, who is like probably top billing in the show is
not Pencil Man.
It's Billy from Battlestar Galactica.
Yes,
his tasked with reaching across the table and going, "Oh, King's Hawaiian."
And then I'm like, wait a minute.
So every time
I referencing a Hallmark movie. I am so disappointed that I myself did not pick. I just thought you were like super excited about King's Hawaiian rolls, and I was like, yes, they do exist. I'm glad you remembered. These are good.
You understand I'm making fun of how bad
That's
that
what
movie
you
is,
say.
right?
That's what you say, but you clearly
also understand
in your heart.
You also understand that I am a firm believer in jokes only get funnier the more you repeat them.
I guess so. But I'm just like, I can't believe that I didn't pick up on it.
Also, it's been so hot, my brain is just dead, and so I'm just defaulting to the lowest common denominator, which is Hallmark Christmas movies in July.
And you guys, he will watch one at least. We had promised that. I think the Ultimate Christmas Present, which isn't a Hallmark movie, it's a Disney Channel original movie. That's what you were requested to watch like months ago by one of our listeners. So maybe we'll do that tonight.
If we have a second July episode, I will have watched a Christmas movie from one of the requests in order to satisfy our rabid and insane Christmas enjoyers.
You did see the preview, though, because I made you watch it. The clip for the movie that I feel like
now
they made
talk
for
about
me.
Product placement.
What, this?
Yeah.
Okay. They are doing a movie with the Hallmark queen herself, Lacey Chabert, as we know her, Gretchen, from Mean Girls. Her dad invented toaster strudel. They're doing a Hallmark Christmas movie at Walt Disney World. They were actually filming,
product placement.
Pretty sure while we were there. Yeah, but like I'm all here for it. I feel like this movie was designed for me. And I cannot wait. And I'm very excited. But they released a sneak peek that I made you watch for in honor of Christmas in July.
Now, if they make any real inside jokes, maybe I'll appreciate the movie. I'm talking like a paging Tom Morrow. Please go to someplace for your trip to the moon, something like that. Now I'll give them some credit for that, but I don't think I'm going to get any of that.
I better see them like eating a Dole Whip and a churro.
Oh yeah, of course you're going to see
pretzel. It's going to be so much product placement, but like the good kind. I'm very excited. I cannot wait. I just wish that like I could have been in the movie.
Oh, King's Hawaiian.
Oh, King's Hawaiian. So what else did we do on our vacation? We went to a movie. We went to a bookstore, the record store. We slept, took naps. You had your first physical therapy session.
I went to physical therapy for my torn
Not rehab, as your mom said.
For my torn...
Your mom texted yesterday, how's rehab going, Daniel? I'm like, don't call it that.
I went to physical therapy for my torn hamstring and threw out my lower back. So that was fun.
It reminded me of when the pandemic started and I was getting you to do some of my yoga with me. And, like, I clearly didn't realize your lack of flexibility. And you were so messed up for, like, 2 weeks from that. It was when I had you do that yoga video.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yoga's supposed to be stretching, but it just shows you how little. You're, like, knotted up like a pretzel. Like, oh, King's Hawaiian, the pretzel edition.
They have pretzel rolls.
I know. That's why I said it. We're not sponsor us.
Actually, okay. If you're a King's Hawaiian person, then you know the flavor, what you're getting when you eat the rolls. They're like a sweet roll. But when I was at Piggly Wiggly, I knew you wouldn't let me buy this, but they had a King's Hawaiian regular dinner roll. So I assumed
Wait, what?
They had a version of, like, you know how they have, like, the pretzel roll?
I thought the regular one was the Hawaiian
No,
one.
they had a special sweet roll version.
Well, then what did they call it?
King's Hawaiian, like, regular dinner rolls. I don't remember what they call it.
King's Hawaiian bland? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
I know it doesn't make any sense, but they had it, and I was like, I kind of want to know what that tastes like because, you know.
That's like you, and you're like, I want the cheeseburger, no cheese. The drive-thru.
Listen, I have to say cheeseburger, no cheese, so that they ring it up cheeseburger, no cheese, because if they ring it up as hamburger, they put cheese on it. If you ring it up as cheeseburger,
we like our
no cheese, it puts it in front of that guy's face when he's making the burger that goes, oh, no cheese. Because if we see hamburger, they just see cheeseburger.
Okay. All right. We, like I said, bookstore, record store, physical therapy. Is it going well? Would you say you've had 2 sessions now?
Yeah, he did the thing. I don't remember what it said. I don't know what he called this, but there's like it's like a cold knife. Like the word knife is definitely involved in the description of this thing, but they just rubbed this like metal bar across my hamstring.
Was it like a hurt so good thing though?
It was hurt so like I'm almost uncomfortable, but then it got to hurt so good at some point, and basically they're rubbing the knots and the little tears out of my hamstring. So that was fun. I got to pedal on a bike. I beat the old lady next to me.
That's good.
So that's good. I was the youngest person. First time I went to physical therapy, there was a wide variety of ages there, but this time I went on like a Tuesday morning, and I was probably the youngest there by about 20 years. So.
All right. Well, besides King's Hawaiian rolls, we also had popcorn because one of our vacation days we went to see Supergirl. We were going to go see Supergirl in my hometown, which apparently a place caught on fire in my hometown. And
big black smoky plume.
So we ended up going to the theater we normally go to that's a little closer to us. And I liked Supergirl. What'd you think of Supergirl?
Yeah, it was perfectly fine. Like it was good. It was a good superhero movie. It wasn't in the top 5 best superhero movies.
No.
It certainly isn't in the bottom 5 superhero movies either. It's in the middle of all of them.
And it was nice going like on I think we did on like a Monday matinee. Yeah. We would have been the only people in the theater, but then this elderly couple rolled in like last minute. That was cool though. When I thought like no one else was going to be in there. But I feel like most of the complaints that I've seen online about this are from people being like, "Oh, she's not pretty enough." One, you need glasses. That's terrible. Like, what do you look like? That's saying that. That's just I'm so tired of like men because it's mostly men, of course, that are saying that. Like, just like if you like these men, we support. I show up and I watch all the superhero movies for like the dudes. Why does every time one come out that's like where the woman is the main story, like they act all like weird about it? They did the same thing with Captain Marvel. Pretty sure they did the same thing with Wonder Woman. I liked Captain Marvel just as much. I like this one. I thought it was good. I'm really tired of like the blatant sexism in the fandom, but I guess it's probably the same thing as like a Star Wars fandom. We don't need to go on that rant where people are always gonna be opinionated. But that's the girl that she's from I don't think she's in like the current season, but she played the young Rhaenyra.
She was in season 1 of House of Dragon, yes, and she was the younger version. So
she's in that show Sirens that I watched on Netflix. That was not about magical mermaids. That I thought was going to be. I was like, when are they going to turn into mermaids?
I remember that,
and then they never did. I like a whole theory. I went like full blown, and I'm like, oh nope, this is not, because like mermaids are sirens. But yeah, say my complaints, if I had to pick from that movie, we won't get too much in the details, but like the villain wasn't very fleshed out. But sometimes I don't think the villains in DC and even Marvel.
No, I mean that's
good.
Every time I talk about almost any franchise these days, it's like, oh, that villain wasn't very fleshed out because.
And I would have liked to have seen more of Crypto, but that was part of like a plot point.
Yeah,
because she was trying to get her dog good again. I like that Supergirl Kara is not the same. Like she's very like her story and her origin is very different than Clark Superman. And I never really watched Supergirl on the CW. I know everyone like said it ended up being really good. So I really wasn't aware of her backstory, that like she knew her parents. And I can't believe I just dropped the lead on. I cannot believe I almost forgot to mention this. Her dad.
Oh gosh, yes, the most important thing about the movie.
I audibly gasped, and I was like, "Oh, that's Bernard from the Santa Claus." This plays her dad, like one of my first childhood crushes. I love Bernard.
Bernard from the Santa Claus.
Yes.
First childhood crushes.
Yeah, like I liked Bernard before I leveled up to like Devin Sawa and those people. I really like Bernard, especially the first one because he was so like sarcastic. But I was like, oh, like I think I like grabbed your arm. I was like, oh my god, and you were like, oh, and you're like, oh jeez. We're a Christmas podcast, I have to mention. I think he had like 2 lines in the movie.
Well, no, he had a bunch of lines, but they were all in like Kryptonian or whatever that fake language was. So I think that's one of the reasons why it took you a little bit of time to recognize who it was, because you weren't getting like great shots of his face, but you were hearing his voice, but he wasn't speaking like any language anybody's ever heard of before.
Yeah. I wonder if people like actually speak that like they do Klingon. Like, can't you like actually like study and learn Klingon?
Yeah,
Star Trek
absolutely.
thing.
Would you like to?
No, thank you.
Okay.
I think I'm good. Yeah, I liked it. I would say it was a little short. I thought like I would have liked to have been a little bit longer. It's very different than Superman, but she is a very different character than Clark Kent. She's at a different place in her life, and I think that's kind of explained in the movie. And I thought that they had what's his name that plays Clark Kent now?
David Cornsweet?
Yes, him.
You actually say his name Cornsweet, right?
I have no idea. I just call him the hot guy that plays Superman now. He was in it more than I thought he was only going to be in it for like a few minutes. He was in it more than I thought. Like, not majorly.
Yeah.
Oh, and then one other thing. Why am I also from Game of Thrones? Why am I forgetting?
Momoa?
Jason Momoa did not play Aquaman, but he was in it as some like random, like not a villain, but not a hero type character. And maybe that was for the comic book people, because I didn't know anything about this character, and I found it very random. And I know she, like, Kara, Supergirl, ends up ultimately saving the day, but there was one scene where he kind of saves some stuff, and I don't need the men saving the women in my female movie.
Like that, but also just like his character seemed like a weird insert all the way around.
Was it probably like, for fans?
I guess.
Like
I don't know.
Comic fans,
but it was like a very strange, like he would have lifted right out, and with just like one or two minor changes, you wouldn't have missed him. So I'm not sure what the
wasn't
thought
even that
process
funny
was.
To me.
Yeah.
But other than that, I thought, like you said, perfectly entertaining. That's what these movies, until we like really got, as they made their way up to like Infinity Wars and Endgame, like a lot of these movies, and I know those are the Marvel ones, and this is DC, but I'm talking about like superhero movies in general. I would say like at their core, they were originally like just an entertaining popcorn type movie.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what this was.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. If you want to go see it in the theater, I think you should. If you're not the type that has to see every movie in the theater, then just wait. So I doubt it'll take long to get to streaming.
No, not at this point.
Did you like it better than Captain Marvel? I barely remember Captain Marvel, so it's hard for me to compare.
No, but Captain Marvel, the first Captain Marvel, had that whole, it was set in the 90s.
Yeah.
Written nostalgia thing.
The second one had the cats, right?
Yeah. I like both of those
Me
movies.
too.
So I didn't have any problem with any of them. So
I definitely liked it better than Wonder Woman, to do like a DC comparison. and I liked it better
The first
than some
Wonder
of the,
Woman or that
male-centric.
awful second one? Because I think I still would put the first Wonder Woman maybe a little bit above
I think
this.
I'm probably thinking about the second
But that second one where they're in the 80s and they somehow bring Chris Pine's character back in a real icky kind of way. Yeah, that was weird.
But yeah, I liked it. It's always fun to go to the movies.
I agree. I like the movies.
We did not end up seeing Mandalorian yet. It was like gone from our theater.
That's fine.
I
will watch it.
I think it comes to streaming like next month.
I will watch it in the place it should have been all along, Disney Plus, because it should have just, from what I've heard, it should have just been another season of that show instead of a movie. So I'll just watch it there.
All right. Shows. While we were off, or kind of right before I think we took off, The Bear dropped all of their episodes for the final season 5, also the final season. The Bear once held the title, not currently, but it once held the title of our show's best thing going.
Yep.
And that's the definition of a best thing going, is it has to be a show that has at least more than one season planned and is still currently airing. That's correct.
Yep.
Now, why don't you explain to people that these are a little bit spoiler-ish episodes?
Sure.
Disclaimer.
Yeah, this is if you're new here.
We don't just talk about hot dog sauce and King's Hawaiian rolls.
Oh, King's Hawaiian. If you're new here, this is a spoiler podcast, which means we're going to talk about spoilers to the movies and shows and foods and books and our lives. Anything we talk about, we're going to spoil it for you. So if you do not want to hear about The Bear season 5,
haven't watched yet,
skip ahead. Otherwise, The Bear season 5.
I felt like was in the camp that I didn't think it needed. Like, I would have been satisfied with the way season 4 ended, but I think while the beginning and you listen, The Bear was. Anything that I watched after Widow's Bay, people go watch Widow's Bay on Apple TV right now. It's like spooky Parks and Rec. It's great. Any show that I was going to watch after Widow's Bay was going to be like, ugh, to me, because Widow's Bay was so good. I feel like neither of us have connected with a show at that level in like
it's been a while.
Really long time. Like it was that good. Go watch Widow's Bay.
Yeah.
People have asked me about it after our last week's episode. They're like, so is Widow's Bay scary or is it funny? And I'm like, it's sort of both. I wouldn't say like scary. There's the horror element definitely there.
If what you are seeking is just like grabbing your seat, like holding your eyes open, terrified that of the next jump scare, that's not what you're getting out of Widow's Bay. But if you like a little bit of spooky with a little bit of funny, this is the best show. I'm going to say it right now. I'm going to say it right now. It doesn't currently qualify for the best thing going, only because it only has one season.
I think they are getting a season 2.
They are getting a season 2, but we usually hold that to see until what season 2 looks like.
Strong contender, though.
But it is going to be a strong contender whenever they get around to that.
I will circle us back to The Bear. I'll say this.
We'll get there.
Widow's Bay is funnier than The Bear, which is once again nominated in the comedy category.
Yes. And if you're looking for a show, and on the opposite side of the funny, of the horror element, if you're looking for a funny show, yes, this show is funnier than The Bear, which competes for award season in the comedy section of the awards.
I've never understood. Although sometimes I find myself laughing at The Bear. So I'm going to say it was kind of a little bit of a slow start at the beginning
First
of The Bear.
First of all, they ripped off the pit.
Yeah, they totally did the pit. Like, where basically the whole season is like in a day. But I'm gonna give them their flowers because they stuck the landing.
They did.
The finale was fantastic.
Really, the last
one of the best finales I've seen.
And the last 2 or 3 episodes, really, it felt back to what we remembered from the old days of The Bear.
Exactly. So they stuck the landing. It ends with the restaurant, and the whole thing is they wanted to get the stars. Well, spoiler alert, they do get the stars. I won't say how many stars they get. You can watch that for yourself. Carmi, his end, he's the main character played by Jeremy Allen White. His ending was sort of up in the air. Do you think, Daniel, that he decided to go ahead and stay at the Bear? Like, he's not an owner like Sid, Richie, Sugar are. But do you think he decided to stay there and be a chef and maybe get back into it because he realized, how maybe that he didn't have the leadership skills, but Sid did. And he talks in that scene where he's interviewing for a job, like about how everybody made it work that crazy night that they had. They came together as a family and they like had fun, blah, blah, blah. Or do you think he took another path and another job? They referenced his artistic talents. What I felt like they made it open-ended on purpose, so you could kind of think about
because like I think he does the job interview, but then there's that final scene where they're kind of having a birthday celebration for Richie's daughter, and I think some people were like taking that as like a chronological absolute that since that's the last thing we saw.
I felt like that was a good way to get because I feel like they invited if you'd ever been on there.
But I've seen people online taking
even
that
Josh
as,
Hartnett was in it.
that because that was the last thing we saw. Clearly, he's back at the Bear cooking. Yeah. I don't know that that's 100. Like you said, that was more of a way where we can get everybody in to a shot and kind of have this goodbye to the full cast. Like basically, I think you told me anybody who'd ever showed up, they were like
they
come
were
on
in.
in.
Scene. Yeah, because Josh Hartnett plays Richie's ex-wife's new husband.
Yeah, and he's in like one scene of like season 3, I think, or something like that.
He's in the wedding, obviously he's in the wedding episode.
In the wedding episode. Yeah.
But I didn't expect him to be in the finale, and he was there.
Yeah, so I think that I don't read that scene as like a literal, he went and did the interview in New York, and now we're doing the birthday. Yeah. I feel like that might have taken place, because I kind of got the feeling that the interview in New York might have been a little bit of time passed.
I sort of interpreted it as...
because he spoke about the restaurant in the past tense.
Well, it was funny because when he's going in for the interview, that's what I thought at first, but then he's talking. I'm like, wait a minute, is he finally going to see a therapist? I'm like, why is he in New York City? What's going on?
Yeah.
And I felt like he sort of had that realization during the interview, so I don't think he took the job at the architect firm, but I'm not entirely convinced he went back to being a chef. I think he realized like those people are always going to be his family. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I think you can, like you said, it can go either way. I go back and forth on it. Maybe he realized, because I do think he definitely realized that, like, he's maybe not to be the leader.
Sure.
But he has those skills. He has those artistic things. I think at the bottom line, what really matters, because it's never fully been about the food, was that Carmy coming to terms with, like, his family, his friends, where he fits in, his mental health journey, and trying to, get over his issues and try to figure out who he is. And I think that's you see him almost at peace. Instead of being the guy that's screaming when he gets locked in the freezer, he seemed to be in a better place. So I think that's what they want you to take from that scene, at least my interpretation of it. The second to last episode? I felt like they really came for the fans in that episode, like the Sid Carmy shippers.
Yeah.
What are they asking Sugar's husband? What's his name? Is it Pete?
Pete, yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis
Donna
comes back.
Asks him,
she's the mom.
Is he
like,
referring to Carmy and Sid? Are they like a together? And he's like, I don't think so, but there are theories.
Which is funny. Listen, I understand people ship them strongly. I never got anything more than she had a mutual respect. Almost like they almost give me Anakin and Ahsoka vibes, to use a Star Wars reference, like brotherly, sisterly thing. Not saying that they couldn't be something in the future, maybe. I don't know. I never got that vibe. I got like mentor, mentee, and that they both like kind of helped each other grow. I never once got romantic vibes from them, but I understand that a lot of other people did, so maybe, interpret that as you will. Yeah. What about, did you ever get romantic vibes from them?
No, never, not once.
But you know who I did get romantic vibes from?
Let's go ahead. So, the last scene of the show, and I thought this was interesting, honestly, because the show closes out on Richie, and where's he?
The best character.
He's on an airplane. He's going
to
do some, sort of like conference thing.
Not cooking, but concierge thing in Japan.
And who's he got with him?
Jess. And my favorite episode of The Bear, I don't remember which season it is, but it's entitled Forks. Yeah. I think it's the best episode. It's the Richie-centric episode. And everyone's like, talk about character growth. I'm like, I liked Richie in season 1 when he was annoying.
When he got stabbed?
Got stabbed. He's always been my favorite character, but he's that character that had the perfect amount of growth sprinkled in. Because ultimately, Richie, just like Carmy, they're all trying to heal after losing Mikey, who was so important to them all. Everybody has a different journey.
Yep.
He and his wife were divorced. He's trying to figure out like who he is, to still try to be a good dad. So Forks, I think, and that's where Richie, obviously, he's saying Taylor Swift, and it was just iconic. Want my fellow Swiftie. He meets Jess at that restaurant, and I was like, oh, chemistry there. I'm pretty sure someone's like, we had to wait 3 years for this. And every season when she would like, because they bring her in after that to come like help at the Bear restaurant. And they would always talk, and I'm like, I ship it. And you're like, really? But then this season, they had a moment where they never kissed. The whole time, they never kissed. But
you were having heart palpitations on the couch.
I was like, oh, this is exhilarating. A simple hand touch and like holding of a hand can be more intimate than a kiss when done right. And I was like, oh, something's happening here. And then they had Sid like ask about it. And then that, like you said, that end scene, she is on the plane with him. So that I think we did get our Richie Jess endgame. And that I always did see romantically. Did you always see them romantically, or are you just like going off of what I said?
I saw the possibility of it. Yes.
Let's see. Anything else that stood out to you about the Bear?
Not particularly. Like I said, I agree with you. I think the beginning of the season dragged, but I thought they nailed it. They stuck the landing. They turned whatever the correct direction is when other shows maybe haven't necessarily. And I think that they were able to steer the show that meandered for probably a season or two more than it should have, to a very satisfactory ending that I will think back upon and go, yeah, I really enjoyed that show front to back. It's great.
Maybe not comedy.
Whether or not comedy, but whether or not you liked how it got a little lost in the sauce occasionally. It had the thing I will miss the most about the Bear is not getting to see those characters anymore, because I love every single one of them. The facts,
I love the facts.
All the goofballs that show up in that restaurant that pull it all together. Everybody's great, and I will miss seeing their shenanigans because they felt like real, true people.
It always makes me hungry when I watch the Bear.
Yes, of course.
It really.
I make some hot dog sauce.
What is the thing that Sid made? Like they were like Coca-Cola short ribs or something?
Yeah, Coca-Cola braised short ribs.
I don't eat a lot of short ribs, but whatever she made looked good.
You tell me, you look at me and you give me the go, and I will make it happen. I can't say that I'm gonna make it as good as it was in the show, but she's not a real chef either. She's just an actor.
True. If I ever had to pick, so Forks is my favorite episode. Fishes, was it the Fishes, the Christmas one, which I also think is from season 2 as well?
Mm-hmm.
Season 2 must have been a heavy.
I think season 2 was the best season by far.
Yeah, because I think 3 is where people were like, okay, what's going on? And then 4 kind of like, that's where it lost the plot a little bit. And then 5 came back strong. The Christmas episode, chaotic, so good.
Yeah, to the point where you rewatched it at Christmas this past year.
Napkins, I think that might be a season 3.
I don't remember the names of any of these episodes.
That's the one where we find out we never remember her name. The chef that like works with Sid.
Oh, Olivia Colman's character?
Not Olivia Colman's character. The chef that works at the Bear. That's like with Sid and Carmi.
Tina.
Oh,
okay.
Is it Tina?
Yeah.
Okay. I liked her. Watch it not be Tina.
Riveting podcasting here. Listen to us. Try and remember names for 5 minutes.
We'll talk to you about hot dog sauce, but not about names. The napkins one, where you realizes like how she got her start working.
Yeah,
she kind of lost her job and got in there. That
yeah.
was a good one.
Yeah,
but I'm going to say maybe not the finale, but the second to last episode of season 5, I would put up there in my top. Their episodes because it was so good.
That episode was a flashback too, and Mikey, played by John Bernthal, is in it. And anytime John Bernthal is in the show, it's great because he's really good.
Absolutely. So yeah, Bear, it turned out really good. I watched a show in one day without you. One day, it's like all I did.
I wasn't doing anything, by the way, everybody. It's not like I was out of town or something. I was just downstairs.
Yeah, I mean, it's vacation.
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do. I watched Elle, the Legally Blonde prequel of sorts, on Amazon Prime. I was really skeptical about this show. I was really worried about it because I love Legally Blonde. Elle Woods is like my icon. Like, oh, you got into Harvard? What? Like, it's hard? Whoever said orange is the new pink is seriously disturbed. I love Elle. Oh, and Legally Blonde, too. You look like the 4th of July.
Makes me want a hot dog real bad.
So there's so many, like, vocal stems from Legally Blonde.
Now I do want hot dogs.
But I saw that Reese Witherspoon was a little more involved than I thought.
Wait, I gotta stop you.
Oh my gosh.
I gotta stop you.
We're never getting through this podcast.
King's Hawaiian. They had King's Hawaiian hot dogs. So, hot dog buns, not hot dogs. Hot dog buns.
But were they flavored like the regular rolls?
It didn't
like
say they weren't.
Ones?
It did. So I assumed it was just a regular King's Hawaiian flavored roll.
I think you're making stuff up.
With a hot dog. Now I gotta look it up. Go ahead. Talk about Elle.
Okay. I saw that Reese Witherspoon, who played the iconic character of Elle Woods, was more involved. And then I started seeing the previews, and the girl that they cast as a young Elle really does look like Reese Witherspoon. The few times you popped into that show, would you say they did a good job with casting?
Yes, I would agree.
Like, even the vocal, like, you can tell she, like, studied Reese's, like, vocal inflections that she uses as Elle. Anytime you do a prequel, it's always going to be a little weird because you have the source material that you have to go with. If anybody ever watched the Carrie Diaries on the CW, which is like the Sex and the City prequel, I think you kind of need to think of this show as the same a little bit. Because there are going to be some stuff that you're going to wonder how this Elle in high school turns out to be the Elle that we meet in the beginning of Legally Blonde. But I would like to point this out because Daniel brought this up. He's like, what? Are they just going to do all her character development now? Elle was never really the problem. Like, yes, is she like pretty fun things, but she was always smart the whole time, and she was always really nice. It was just the way other people responded to her. And I think a lot of her journey in the Legally Blonde movies was finding that confidence within herself and realizing that. So I don't think it's from a character, like, all her character development is gone because they have this show. I think you could be like, oh, this is how she was in high school. And you could, like, there's certain things with some love interests that I'm going to wonder how they get to her picking Warner Huntington III. But again, don't take it too seriously and you're going to enjoy it. It's set in the 90s. She is in high school. Her family has to move to Seattle. Her dad...
I have to vouch for the soundtrack, by the way, because I could hear it.
So good.
The opening credits and a lot of the music they were using was really good. Now, part of that's probably because they did go to Seattle, so they used a lot of, like, the grunge Seattle music that was coming out of that time period. The soundtrack was very good. Before you continue with The Father, here we are. I'm looking at original King's Hawaiian sweet hot dog buns. And just so we can wear, savory butter rolls.
Okay.
Also, in addition to that.
I would like to try the savory butter
you
rolls.
would? Because I thought you would have been literally... I thought you would have been affronted that I would possibly purchase... I would have gone,
King's Hawaiian savory. Can I continue about Elle?
Yes.
Her dad in the show is played by the guy from That Thing You Do, who also plays Conrad and Jeremiah's dad from The Summer I Turned Pretty, but he's much more likable in this show than he is The Summer I Turned Pretty. Anyway, just had to point that out. So, yeah, you kind of need to think of it. If you don't get too attached to the plot of Legally Blonde coming, and you just enjoy it for what it's worth, this show is great. I loved all the references. They do reference the original movie a lot. And I think you can still, like, connect the dots a little bit more. I know they're getting to season 2. I don't know. Like, you're kind of limited with, like, longevity of shows like this when you are tied to the source material. There is a really good love triangle. I definitely have made my choice. I like Team Dustin. Thank you. Over Team Miles. I think, though, if you want to make it stick a little bit to the original movie, she's going to have to go with boring, bland Miles. While he is nicer, he is more like a Warner Huntington III type than somebody like Dustin who challenges her a bit more. Okay? But it was like, I really was like, oh, I'm not even going to like the love triangle. Like, and it ended up being one of the greatest like little subplots I really liked it. all the characters were fun. It was just, I flew through it. Like, I know I was in vacation mode, so I was excited to watch it, but I love Legally Blonde, and I'm telling you right now, I still like this movie. I did see one comment on TikTok that said they didn't quite get her hair color right. It was more of a white tone blonde like what we have now and less of that buttery blonde. And that is one thing that I did think to myself. I was like, ooh, her hair needs to be a little bit more of that golden, yellowy, buttery blonde to be more like the 90s. But I'm willing to let that stuff slide.
Maybe she didn't dye it that color until later.
Maybe not, even though I think at one point they reference her. Oh, and then in sad news, I think this is one of James Vanderbeek's last projects because he shows up in a very small role to the point like I had to pause it and I was like, oh my gosh. And then I got really sad about it. Rest in peace, James Vanderbeek. And they do a little tribute to him, I think, after the first episode he's in the credits. Obviously, if you're a super young person, you might not know who he is, but he's best known as from Varsity Blues and Dawson's Creek. I think I already said Dawson's Creek. But yeah, I liked it. You watched a little bit of it. Did you? You just seem like you hated it.
The main episode I saw was the one where they basically did the Breakfast Club.
Oh, they like spoofed the Breakfast Club.
It was fine.
I felt like Elle felt very much in character. And again, I'm going to double down on it and say that I think that she was never like a very vapid, shallow person that's the way people perceived her, but that's not how she was. She's not like, go back and watch the original movies. The only thing I'll say is she thought that, she wanted to marry Warner Huntington III probably because she thought she had to marry him. So, and you could still say like in high school, people go back to patterns like that, but I don't think that you need to hang your hat on that so much with the character development stuff. And people, maybe that's how she was able to handle some of the awkward situations at Harvard so well is because everybody was mean to her in Seattle. Everybody was mean to her. I'm like, Ella's not the problem. It was so frustrating to me. Oh, and then cross country is right because I guess like there's the school she goes to in Seattle. Like they don't like do anything fun. They don't have dances. It's like clearly they're like going way into that whole grunge
like a Footloose
vibe.
Town.
What?
It's like a Footloose Town.
No, the opposite. Like grunge, we're too cool to do anything. And then they're like, so she's organizing like a homecoming event. And she's like, okay, so you have cheerleaders, but they don't really cheer for anybody. She's like, do you have any sports teams? And they're like, we have a cross country team. I was like, oh, cross country. And then I was like, wait a minute. I was like, this is because cross country is not cool. Screw you guys. I love cross country. Boom. But then they had their cross country meet for their homecoming. I'm like, that is not how a cross country meet starts. That is not how it goes. There was no boxes. It was really weird. They did have them at least in the woods instead of on roads. But I'm like, oh, wait a minute. It's because cross country is not cool. I guess it's Seattle cool running.
Maybe that's how they do cross country on the West Coast.
I don't think so. But I liked it. Go watch. I would recommend you watch this if you like Legally Blonde. And if you have to separate it, just think of it as like a separate universe to the show. I honestly think, because I think the 90s plot of it makes it fun, but I think it might have worked out better if they had this as like maybe Elle's daughter in school. You could have done something like that, and then you wouldn't, because that is the thing. They are holding themselves down and putting themselves on a timeline because it is a prequel.
Plus, if it was her daughter, you could have had Reese Witherspoon be in the show too.
Absolutely.
As Elle Woods.
Well, speaking of 90s, early 2000s icon Kate Hudson from the best rom-comedy of all time, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Remember I used to make you watch that all the time?
I do.
And I'd sing, it was before TikTok, and I'd be like, and all the girls dream that Davy Daniels' partner, and you're so vain. Do you remember that?
I do.
Fondly? Yes, you do.
No comment.
Oh, please. We watched Running Point on Netflix.
Both seasons.
They're very short episodes, and I think they're 10 episode seasons. But like some of the episodes, I think the longest episodes maybe. Like
if it had a live studio audience and a laugh track, I would call it a rom-com, or not a rom-com. I would call it a sitcom.
Okay, we're not getting into that again. I think season 2 just came out this past spring. They are confirmed to get a season 3. I had wanted to watch this a long time ago, and then I ended up watching something else, and I'm really glad that I waited because you ended up liking the show too. It is written by Mindy Kaling, best known from The Office. She does work on a lot of stuff. She had her own show, The Mindy Project, and I can tell, like, her I feel Mindy's writing in this, which is good. It's funny. What do you think of it? Now that we're finished.
I just kind of sat down and started watching it with you. It was definitely funnier than I think I expected it to be. Like just some of the one-offs and the jokes they make.
Hilarious.
Were good.
You were laughing a lot.
Yeah. So it's funny. I think if you're looking for something light to kind of just eat dinner and watch,
Yeah,
it's
that's
pretty
basically
good
what we did. The whole
It's
plot
not
of the
serious.
show
It's not
is
serious. Like it's just
yeah. I mean, there's some serious moments,
Yeah,
but it's
but-
mostly just a comedy. And the whole plot of the show is that she's part of a family that owns a NBA team, and they don't use real. I'm going to say they're in the same rivalry, the same universe as Heated Rivalry,
okay.
because they don't use like the real name. So they're called like the LA Waves, which I think is supposed to sort of be like the Lakers.
Yeah.
And her brother, played by Justin Theroux, goes to rehab. Not physical therapy, and puts her in charge of the team. And that's kind of the whole plot of like how she does. Obviously a woman owner, the family legacy, there's shenanigans involved. She has 2 other brothers. Her assistant is played by Brenda Song by the way, circling back, Brenda Song is in The Ultimate Christmas Present, the Disney Channel original Christmas movie that our listener wants you to watch. She is married to Macaulay Culkin in real life. Macaulay Culkin shows up in both seasons.
What
randomly.
is the ultimate Christmas present? Is it love? Because that's going to be a real bummer.
I mean, I think it's like about they make a machine so they don't have school. But I probably just circle back that it's really love. I don't really remember this movie, dude. I just remember just randomly that Brenda Song is in it. Who is married to Macaulay Culkin, who shows up in like random parts in both seasons.
Yeah.
Which is very funny. I'm trying to think anything else.
No, I mean I don't have a lot of like strong like things to say about it other than just
Then
it
go
was
watch
funny.
it. It's
was
funny.
a good time. It's not a waste.
Schmidt.
Yeah, Schmidt's in
Isn't
it.
it?
It's not a waste of time. Like you won't be like, this
Max
sucks. I wish I
Greenfield
hadn't
is in
watched
both
it.
seasons. They kind of do his character dirty though, so I'm a little upset about that. He plays her fiance, Lev Levinson. A very unlike Schmidt character, because I've never really been attracted to Max Greenfield before, and I think it's because I see him as Schmidt. But now it's taking me back to when he played a young Sandy Cohen on the OC. The first time I found him attractive.
All right.
Schmidt. And Brenda Song, who plays her friend Allie, who works with her, is also in some episodes of New Girl with Schmidt. She is the original owner of Ferguson, which would become to be Winston, Winnie the Bish's beloved cat, Ferguson.
Yeah, I didn't remember that. Like, I know what you're talking about, but I do not remember her from that.
She's
so.
Ferguson's like original owner.
All right. Well, that's fascinating.
But yeah, it's a good show. They definitely make a How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days reference that I absolutely loved. I had to pause the TV because I was so excited. They made a reference to The Hills. I think it's in the second season.
Yeah.
She's talking to she's talking to Jackie. That's one of the other, they find out that's their sibling. And she's trying to convince him to go to Europe in the off season to help recruit. And he's like, well, I might go, see my girlfriend in DC instead. And she's like, my friend Lauren, she had an opportunity to go to Paris, but she didn't. She stayed to be with her boyfriend, who then broke up with her after, like, when she got back after, like, less than 2 weeks. And I'm like, that sounds like Lauren Conrad, Elsie from the OC. And then I say it as Kate Hudson character is saying it. I'm like, Lauren will always be known as the girl who didn't go to Paris. And Daniel's like, what is happening right now? And then he's like, isn't that like Elsie from the, like, from the Hills? And she's like, yes, I know. I'm friends with Elsie. And it was just... Clearly, Mindy Kaling wrote that in for the girlies.
Yeah, it was a very specific joke for a very specific
But the fact
audience.
that I started quoting it before, and you're like, what is happening? What is happening? But I would recommend this show, like he said, 100%. I think the first season's better than the second season. There's some characters, like one of her brother's boyfriends, I felt like they did character assassination with him in the second season. Not real thrilled about that, just so they can make way for another storyline. But sometimes that happens with comedies. I will say the primary love interest, Jay, I'm going to need some redemption to get on board with that for Endgame in season 3, because the way they wrapped up his storyline at the end of season 2 made me mad. What about you?
That one's like, on the precipice of you can't. How are you like?
How are you gonna undo
being
this?
unable to repair this? Because
And it's
that
not
was
cheating.
yeah,
There was
yeah.
no
It's
cheating
not
or
that, but
anything like
it
that.
is very much like if you've watched the show and you understand the characters, it's a big betrayal.
Huge betrayal.
And I just don't know how you like repair that. To be
and
honest.
how do you even justify that? How do you justify
exactly.
that?
Yes, and we'll not spoil it, but yeah, it's rough.
We're spoiler podcast about some stuff, but not everything. Okay, next
Snape
on
kills
the agenda.
Dumbledore.
We're so millennial core. Spider Noir on Amazon Prime. We finally finished that. We finally circled back, finished those last couple episodes.
Again, this gigantic tidal wave called Widow's Bay landed in our laps
and just ruined everything
washed
else.
away everything else and made it really difficult to concentrate on anything other than that. And like it made like I think after we finished Widow's Bay, we spent at least a night or two just watching like reruns of old sitcoms before we jumped back into anything.
Oh, Ray Romano shows up in Running Point, speaking of old sitcoms.
Because, like, we have it in our notes to talk about at the very end. We're over an hour, so we are pretty close to the very end. Watch Widow's Bay. It is going to be, unless they, like, super duper screw season 2 up, it's going to be the best thing going.
Let's talk about Spider Noir.
Spider Noir.
Are we getting a second season, or is that a one-off?
I think it's a one-off.
Nicolas Cage plays. Is he playing younger?
Yes.
Because he'd be like, "Here's me with like my war buddies," and I'm like, "You are like way older than these people in real life, Nicolas Cage. What is happening?" But I think he really wanted because he voiced him. He
voiced Spider Noir in the Miles Morales Into the Spider-Verse movies.
Was this a Nicolas Cage project? He really wanted to play him. I mean, Nicolas Cage is a good actor, so I'm fine with it. But
I think
for the role.
He liked it, and this was his first TV role, and he wanted to. And I don't know how he found his way into this, but yes,
his first TV role.
Yes,
he hasn't done any TV shows.
Yes.
What?
Correct.
Oh my gosh, really?
That is correct.
That's insane.
And he said the only reason he even considered TV is because over the pandemic, his like kid made him watch Breaking Bad, and he realized that he could that TV actors sometimes maybe get opportunities to explore characters in a deeper manner than.
Oh, and I agree with him.
Than they do in movies.
Because I think a lot of times the superhero shows, which I know Disney's kind of put the brakes on some of their Marvel stuff, for the most part. Not counting all of them, but for the most part, like the Marvel TV shows, I felt like when I talk about my criticism of like the Supergirl movie with the villain, you're able to flesh out the villains and motivations more. I'm not saying that's what happened on this show, Spider Noir, kind of a little bit all over the place, but it did come together.
The mystery came together a little bit. I agreed with you midway through the season. But it is also a noir.
Yeah.
And so it was trying to maintain some mystery and maintain tropes. But at the end of the day, I think everybody that you would consider a villain on that show had motivations that made sense to me.
The one guy just wanted money and power.
Yeah. So
yeah, I liked it. It's not going to be a particularly memorable show for me, but I always enjoyed it while we were watching it.
Yeah, it was, and I thought it did a really good job hitting the film noir tropes.
I would like it if Nicolas Cage didn't want to return. Maybe they could have him traveling. I would like it because speaking of New Girl,
yeah, our boy,
Winnie the Bish, he plays Robbie. I think is his character's name.
Yeah, Lamar.
And at one point, he takes the antidote that they're giving people to lose their powers, and they act like nothing happened to him. But I'm like, that'd be really cool
if we
did like a spinoff with him and like the assistant that worked at the detective place because I really liked her character.
Yeah, they could easily
do that.
It writes itself. How easy it would be to say, "Oh well, he took the antidote and it didn't really seem to do anything." But then, a couple months later, suddenly he's got spider powers. My
biggest complaint of that show was just I would have liked more time with the side characters.
Yeah.
Not that I didn't mind like Nicolas Cage, but I felt like we could have had more of like that kind of group dynamic because there was one scene where he reveals himself that he's the spider. That's what they call him in this universe. And she's like, "Yeah, I know." and there's a montage of like every time he told her that he was a spider. He likes hot dogs. See, that's like, didn't he say like that's his like character trope? He's like always eating hot dogs or something. What is up with this?
Yeah.
Hot dogs and King's Hawaiian.
If you have the ability to watch Amazon Video, particularly if you are one of those people who pay to not have the ads, and you like if you
like
like Spider-Man, well, if you like the Spider-Man franchise,
Yes.
you probably will find something in this show that you like. They also offer it in both black and white and color. We watched it in color, but I've seen some of the black and white, and it looks really cool in black and white.
I like the set for it. Like, I can tell
Yeah.
sometimes they were using a set, but I like the way they made old New York look.
Yeah. Well, listen, if you are making a TV show, if you're making a movie, and it's in New York, and you don't include New York as a character, you have made a mistake. Because New York, the city of New York, in all of the time frames, is a character, and you should use it for that. And I thought they did that here. I thought they really did a good job. And like I also think some of the clearly it was a set, clearly it was a soundstage, clearly it was a matte painting or something. A lot of that stuff would probably blend in better in the black and white version.
Oh, I agree. But I kind of like it. It reminds me of like when I'm watching something like White Christmas, and I know they're so obviously on a set, but I enjoy it.
Yeah.
So speaking of superheroes, to go with the theme, X-Men 97 did return. We have watched the first episode. I think we're going to wait for that to stack a little bit. I feel like to watch X-Men 97, I need to have like a bowl of like Fruity Pebbles or Cocoa Pebbles or something, or like Lucky Charms. Like
what was the Cinnamon
like
Bear?
A kid's cereal.
What's the Cinnamon Bear? What's his cereal?
It's not Smacks is the frog.
Smacks is the frog. I can accept the frog.
Is it Golden Crisp?
Maybe. I don't know.
It's Golden Crisp because there's Golden Grams and then there's Golden Crisp. Golden Crisps is the one with the bear.
Yeah, that's what I'd want.
And then the frog but it's the same thing.
I'm really hungry.
But I would want like a kid's cereal to have, probably not milk though. Dairy hurts my stomach in my olden age. To watch this, I like it so far. I'm sure we'll get into it and have fun. I think they did this in season 1. I just forgot because we watched season 1 almost all at once.
Oh yeah.
I forgot that like Magneto and like Professor X aren't in every episode. So I watched season 1.
On,
I'm
you're
like,
where's Magneto?
Where's Rachel? Like, where did he go? So I feel like we need to have like, if we don't do it in the morning, we need to have like a cereal for dinner night.
We did.
Where we don't have like my no sugar added with dry berries that I had today. We get fun cereal that's going to hurt my stomach later.
We could say we'll get up on Saturday and have cereal in the morning and watch it, but we won't do that. So I agree with you. We just need to have like breakfast for dinner one night.
All right. In my show notes, it says again, remind people to watch Widow's Bay. I think we reminded you enough. I do want to say one more thing that I forgot to mention before. It was King's Hawaiian, all that talk. We did go to a local bookstore, Love Me an Indie Bookshop, and I found not in the local like they have a section of like West Virginia and like local books. I found this in the romance section. It's like Mothman in Love is the name of the book. Mothman is the West Virginia legendary cryptid creature, and I started reading it, and it's like sexy Mothman. I feel like I'm reading like Bridgerton, but like Mothman. And I've been reading you like sentences from the book out loud. Are you going to read it after me, Daniel?
I'm not. It's just not my thing.
It might be one of the most bizarre books I read, but man, isn't literature great?
Yeah, you can do anything and go anywhere.
Like, I
can
kiss
go
anything. Anywhere. Is that where you got that from? It's in a book.
No, I did not. That is probably where it's from, but no, that my brain did not go do this because of Reading Rainbow.
Well, speaking of Reading Rainbow, what's his name? I just call him Geordie LaForge.
LeVar Burton.
Him. He's not in Star Trek Strange New Worlds, but Daniel's precious Star Trek comes back next week, so maybe we will be podcasting.
With it comes
sooner rather
the
than
doldrums of having to navigate Paramount Plus.
I don't even no, that's not what we were arguing about during the fireworks. I don't remember that, but we totally had a situation where with Paramount Plus where apparently we have like 2 accounts. I don't even know.
We don't know what happened.
We thought we weren't paying for it, but apparently we've been paying it for months.
I figured it out. All I would recommend to everybody out there is when you're going to sign up for a streaming service, go on a computer, not a phone, a computer, to the website of the streaming service that you want to sign up for and sign up that way. Don't do it on your phone. Don't do it through Amazon because then things
you
get
end up paying
hidden.
for stuff that you didn't know you were paying for. It opened up a whole can of worms. We have Star Trek to thank for that. what are you most excited for? Is this season? This is season 4?
Yes. It's season 4, and we know season 5 is 2 things: shortened, and the last season.
Season 4 is not shortened, though.
No,
right?
season 5. So season 4, I have expectations. So first things first.
It would be nice if they filmed it all at once. If they don't make us wait,
They filmed it all at once. I don't know how long they're going to make.
seasons.
So 2 things. First of all, they've said multiple times they want to get a little bit more grounded with the stories this season than they did last season.
I'm going to need Spock to stop being the
Now,
bicycle. For all the
as soon as I say that, I'm going to turn around and go, but there is also an episode this season where they're all Muppets.
What?
I've told you this. You knew this.
Well, I clearly forgot.
So take that with what it will. I also I don't think we're going to get Dr. McCoy, but I do expect to start seeing more ties to the original series, because as they get closer to the end of this season, and certainly into next season, they're going to have to start.
Well, it's the same thing like what I'm talking about with
With
Elle.
Elle. They're going to have to start
kind of
closing the gap.
You write yourself into a corner unless we do some kind of we already have the Kelvin universe of Star Trek. Maybe we split it off.
And now,
did you hear what I said about Spock?
I did. I heard.
Listen,
I agree with you on that point. Yes.
I love romance. I love stuff like that, but they're taking it a little. I think I would like it if they have a payoff for that, and maybe
if they're
he
good
gets
writers, they
burned
will.
again,
Yeah,
and that's why he's more closed off in the original series, because he leaned in more as human side when he was younger for romance and stuff. If they could, but I don't think they're going to do that. But it would be cool if they did.
Well, the story of Spock in the original series going into the first movie is the story of him just having made a decision to go more to the Vulcan side of his life.
I just thought of something.
And so I think that there is an opportunity there, if the writers know what they're doing, to do that.
I'm jumping off the bit here. Can I talk?
Go.
I have something to say. You reminded me, I was thinking about Star Trek, and I was thinking about Captain Kirk, and I was thinking about Paul Wesley.
I'm so proud of you. You're going to break my heart now, aren't you?
Yes. Well, because first I was like, oh, they should really bring in somebody from the Vampire Diaries to play Carol Marcus. Like Caroline, Candace Akola, I think is her last name, or Candace Kane. I don't think it's Kane anymore because she got married again. Whatever. Caroline Forbes, who married Stefan in the Vampire Diaries. She has blonde hair. She has curly hair. She'd be a good Carol Marcus. But then that reminded me, speaking of the Vampire Diaries, Paul Wesley and Nina Dobrev, who played Elena Gilbert, they're going to be in a show together. And I don't think they're playing love interest. So sorry, Stelina fans, we're not getting a reunion or anything. And Team Delane anyway. I think they're gonna play like enemies or people that are at odds. But I'm so excited to see them on screen together again. That's gonna be fun.
You've ruined my Star Trek party
by bringing up the Vampire Diaries. The Vampire Diaries is a show that I wish I could watch for the first time again, but not know how it ends and experience. I wish I could experience Widow's Bay again that way too.
Yes, I do. I agree. I can agree with you on the Widow's Bay point. So, anyways,
well, we've talked about a lot of stuff. Probably more food and hot dog sauce. You said anyways, and then I don't cut you off because I'm trying to end this podcast. Are you trying to end the podcast too?
Oh, King's Hawaiian.